coming. We are the Red Mountaineers, and we're going to be discussing stress at work and see if we can help you guys out. Alrighty, so we're going to talk a little bit about our company. We are also partners with Rio Tinto. We've worked with him for years. We love their work, and we also like to get into this as well with you. And our net revenue last year was $7.87 billion, and so we're doing very decently right now. And some of these tactics have helped us to that number. And we're just going to kind of help you out with workplace joy, happiness, and ease. How can you communicate with other employees, other companies, and do it correctly? Okay, and so we're going to talk about the real main tactics in this and the real main problems when it comes to conversations. And I'm going to use HBR's 10 must-reads on communication. I've been reading this for the last 20 years. It's a book that me and my other colleagues have really studied, and we thought it brought the most impact and the most helpfulness. So a lot of the main criticism points that we're going to be talking about is, I have bad news for you. When you have to go to an employee, a colleague, you're not doing so well in this section, you might be fired. Just ways that you can say it to them without getting strong defensive reactions. What's going on here? Conversation becomes heated for no apparent reason to yourself. Basically, we're going to talk about how to come back from that. And you are attacking me, and that's when basically somebody comes out and starts aggressively attacking, aggressively calling names, being defensive, and just how you can manage those things. And so we're just preparing before we go through these tactics. Make sure that you're attacking using tactics and not the specific person and what they do. So we're going to identify your weaknesses. What will trigger you? What will upset you? Try and think of those things so that when they come out in the workplace, you won't be so defensive. Understanding how you react to certain statements, certain ways that somebody might have said something to you and you thought it was an insult, but it couldn't be. Rehearse with friends, family members, employees, and basically just going through those difficult questions that you might be asked in the workplace, and just eliminating those negative behaviors. If you do have a tendency to get angry or upset over certain things that are discussed, just make sure you're keeping that in mind.
Now, a bit on how to manage a stressful conversation. We have 3 main ideas and points that you can keep in mind and are easy to remember. You need to honor, disarm, and fight tactics. In honoring your partner, you take some blame for what has happened. That way it takes a little bit of the stress off of that person. In disarming your partner, you make sure that you separate the conversation into 2, maybe 3 conversations to make it seem less heated, and make sure that you have time to think about what you've discussed and maybe have some more input. Fighting tactics instead of people, something that Grant mentioned, is really important. You need to make sure that you're not attacking the person and what they are doing or what they're saying. So here's a scenario on how we would help your company in the office. A scenario involves Karen and Nick. Nick has a very important presentation to give to a possible client. He butchers it. I am concerned, and I ask him what happened. What happened, Nick?
Do you not understand how long I've spent on this presentation and you still think that you're my boss? Like, seriously, it just needs to stop. Let me present, and then you can talk to me privately, not in front of everybody.
You need to calm down. You need to calm down, please. Wrong. That is not wrong. It's not right. It's not helpful. And you need instead to have a charged conversation confronted like this. Nick, what happened?
I just didn't have enough time yesterday. I apologize, but thank you for coming to me in such a great manner.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us, and sometimes if we work together more and I I'm sorry, I take some blame for that just because I didn't really help you with the preparation as much as I could have, and next time, let's work more together and maybe start earlier.
Agreed.
Now, we would like to offer you guys a copy of this book that we use as our basis of diffusing stressful conversations in the workplace, and they're free to you, and we would love to answer any of the questions that you might have right now.
So when I was reading this article, I thought it was very interesting, and I really appreciate how you helped me understand the material better. Thank you. And one of the concerns I had is this seems like a very American approach. And I can see it working in our office in New Jersey, but is this going to work in, say, Brazil or here in China itself, where we have a much different culture? I'm a little concerned about that.
We are confident that it will work in all nations and all types of businesses. Like we said earlier, we have worked closely with your partner, and they've experienced great success with our strategies.
And as we've been moving on to different countries and moving our company over there, we've had to switch up what we thought were the three things, the tactics. We had to rethink what is inclusive not only to Americans, but what would make sense to everybody. And just a lot of that taking down negative energy and taking down heat where it shouldn't be, and just coming back with a little more gracefulness.
Great. Well done. Good job.